Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at X-Men number 9 by Jim Lee, Wolverine versus Ghost Rider. Super cool issue. Check out that dope cover. Cannot wait to share it with you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Okay, so this is the adjectiveless X-Men, the companion X-Men. Jim Lee was so popular on the X-Men that he and Chris Claremont really launched a new X-Men series to be a companion book for Uncanny X-Men, and Claremont left after 3 issues, and Jim Lee continued on until issue 10 or 11, something like that. So we're getting near the end of his run here. Actually, it was probably a little bit later than that, but I forgot the exact number. It doesn't really matter. It's coming to an end, but he's still killing it. Chris Claremont has left the book, and obviously it was never the same after Claremont left. However, I mean, you are going to stick around for Jim Lee's art, right? Especially when he's giving you Wolverine versus Ghost Rider. I mean, how cool is this cover? I love it so much. I love the little corner art of Jubilee here. Jim Lee, Scott Williams, great cover. I can only imagine who owns this original art. It's like, this has got to be worth a pretty penny. I mean, original Jim Lee X-Men art has got to be, like, ridiculous. I mean, that cover alone, I think, sold for, like, $1 million, if not more, right? That, like, gatefold cover, I think someone owns that. But anyway, Jim Lee pencils, Scott Lobdell script, Lee and T-Bear finishes, Orzechowski and Buhalis lettering, Joe Rose's coloring, Bob Harris editor, Tom DeFalco, Old Warrior. So this is definitely the 90s, 1992, ushering in a new era for Marvel Comics. So iconic, this lineup of X-Men. I mean, this is the lineup that the 90s X-Men cartoon that is coming back soon that I didn't really watch. You know, I feel like I hate to say it, a little, like, I don't know, I was just, you know, anyway, I don't know if I had outgrown cartoons or whatever, but I'm looking forward to the relaunch. I totally am. Anyway, based on these iconic looks of these characters, Wolverine in the blue and yellow costume, you know, Jubilee, Rogue, and Gambit, like so iconic, so representative of the 90s X-Men. I know a lot of women who are huge fans of Rogue. I think, like, Rogue definitely helped bring in, you know, female readers to the X-Men. I think she definitely was, like, a character that was a good identifier in much the same way that Kitty Pryde was before her. This is a cool take on Ghost Rider. I think, the inevitable point in an Image comic when I have to turn the book sideways to show you the art. But we're doing it in a Marvel comic, which is a precursor to the Image era of Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane and all the rest of them, Eric Larson, Mark Silvestri, Jim Valentino, Will Sportasio, et al. But that is so cool. Like, how was that not more of a thing? I mean, I realize, like, I feel like editorial is, like, missing an opportunity here. If they're not, like, why don't you have, like, Brood Ghost Rider on the cover? Like, that's, like, I don't know. You know, they were going for more pin-up-y kind of things, which is fine. You know, it's like, I don't know. But it just seems like so monumentous to have, like, Ghost Rider and the Brood sort of meld together. That's, like, there's your cover, in my opinion. Although, I mean, Wolverine versus Ghost Rider. Yeah, there's your cover. Sorry. Great, just amazing Jim Lee art, just killing it. Although I do feel like, do we think it's getting a little looser as he goes towards the end? You know, he's probably already working on Wildcats. Not 100% sure, but I would imagine he would be. But I mean, the art is still 100% solid. I mean, it is looking so good. You know, even when Jim Lee is not 100%, he's still, like, 100% of someone else. You know, he's just that good as an artist. I love Jim Lee's art. I followed his evolution from, you know, Alpha Flight to Punisher War Journal to Uncanny X-Men. It was quite something to witness in real time, you know. I mean, he just really had the chops and really just improved, but was one of those artists who just hit the ground running with potential. I'm so glad that I've been hovering on this Cool World page. I don't ever think I saw Cool World in its entirety entirety. You know, Ralph Bakshi's mix of cartoon and real world. Brad Pitt's in it. I think that's, yeah, Kim Basinger does the voice for Hollywood if she could. And I love Ralph Bakshi. I mean, what's not to love, right? Perhaps there are things, but I don't know. I love him. I love his style, his aesthetic, his animation. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, there's like zero backgrounds. Like, you're getting these manga lines. Like, I feel like laziness popularized that, right? Yeah, no backgrounds. 2 pages in. Uh-oh. Could this be the end? You're saving all those backgrounds for, what do you call it? Wildcats. 3 pages in. I don't, oh my God, 4 or 5 pages in. I mean, you sort of get a background here. Does that count? I guess we have to kind of count it, right? It's showing a little bit of E for effort. I guess that is too. I really, really loved Joe Rosas as a colorist. At the time, I felt like it was so fresh and different and like exciting. Looking at it now, I don't know how well it holds up, but I guess it's not completely terrible. Jim Lee has like such iconic versions of certain characters. That's a great shot of Wolverine right there. See, that's what's happening. It's like you're sacrificing, and this isn't to slam it entirely because, you know, but I mean, I feel like Image Comics was more about, you know, like the money shots and like just going for like the best art. And I have it on good authority that there were actual meetings about things like this as far as like upping the ante and making the resale of the original pages as high as you possibly could by putting like great, you know, like money shots and just like really putting an effort like that, which is fine, I guess. You know, you can't knock an artist for wanting to make some money off of their art. And if people are willing to pay the price for like, I mean, come on, you know, that is pretty cool. Like this page would be, I don't know how this turned into an art evaluation value video, but here we are. Like this page would be worth so much. You've got Ghost Rider, arguably like in brood form, so I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but then you got like this great shot of Beast, you got Wolverine, you got this close-up of Wolverine. So I mean, this is definitely a valuable page of original art right there, I'm thinking. This definitely looks like our T-Bear's inking. I believe that he was mentioned in the credits. Did we not see that? Did we not see that? Lee and T-Bear. Oh, so Jim Lee and Art T-Bear are finishing. Very interesting. Because Lee, I'm guessing, didn't have a lot of time to do inking, so that's kind of cool. Actually, now that I think of it, this definitely, yeah, this for sure is definitely Jim Lee coming in here, probably with markers even. Yeah, you can totally tell that's like marker inking right there. But whatever, I mean, it still looks good. I don't know, I could be wrong. You know, there was a lot of like, but I kind of like that aspect of comic books. You know, it's definitely like a team effort, especially sort of, and this is like Marvel and DC sort of almost created a factory style of working in that one person would write, one person then pass it off to pencil, to be inked, to be lettered, and a lot of times to meet deadlines and stuff like Homage Studios or, I think that's what Jim Lee was calling it. No, that was Mark's. Oh my gosh, who was Homage? Anyway, Wildstorm, I guess, is what Jim Lee wound up being called. Yeah, of course, Wildstorm. But, you know, a lot of times they would, like, do, like, art jam issues. And there's, like, a famous issue, I forget which number it was, that was done in, like, a week. You know, just, like, someone penciling backgrounds, someone doing inks, all kinds of different, you know, tag teaming on art, which can be kind of fun in a studio situation if you're an artist. I love this. This is very iconic. This is all kinds of stuff that, you know, we would see from like an influence of like John Byrne or George Perez with, you know, like you can see like the Phoenix face done this way if you look back through Byrne's run. And I've always loved that effect. I thought it's fun. Perez used it a lot too, specifically like on the Titans. It's a great comic book storytelling device. You know, I talk about things that make comic books so great, like amazing sound effects. And things like that. And there are just certain storytelling devices in comic books that are signature and hallmark of comic, and why I love them so much. So this is actually a really cool issue, and I kind of really dig it, minus the backgrounds. But I don't know, Jim Lee's art appeals to me. I really like Jim Lee's art. He definitely deserves his place in the history of great comic book artists. So that was cool. I mean, freaking Ghost Rider. Talk about worthy pages, valuable pages. I mean, you got the X-Men and Ghost Rider on the same page by Jim Lee. I'm thinking that's going to cost you a few coins. Anyway, you guys, that's another classic issue of the adjectiveless X-Men nearing Jim Lee's, nearing his epic run, the end of his epic run, to go off to Wildstorm and Wildcats and all that good stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will bring you more later.